As an HSP or introvert, why you should never, ever completely avoid overwhelming and social situations. That's the avoidance trap. Welcome to the Understandable podcast. My name is Robert, and today I want to talk with you about the avoidance trap. No matter what I read, all authors who write about high sensitivity agree on that one topic. Avoidance is not a reasonable solution to deal with a highly sensitive perception. I have also had this experience with myself and with other highly sensitive people, and I can kind of confirm this. At first glance, avoidance is actually something quite natural. We know that because our body-mind system always uses avoidance or an avoidance strategy when it can protect us as a kind of useful coping mechanism. And this is especially true in difficult situations. Introverts and highly sensitive people also often want to solve excessive demands, for example, due to overstimulation or in difficult social situations where many people are involved with avoidance. So the field of application is large, ranging from very small, unpleasant situations to larger traumatic events. And basically the mechanism is also positive, as I said, because it preserves and protects us. But what happens when we start to avoid more and more things because we have the feeling that they could be unpleasant or possibly overwhelm us? What happens then is that we fall into the avoidance trap because by allowing less and less, our comfort zone shrinks bit by bit. And this robs us flexibility in life and quality in life, and above all, the space for further development, which sometimes requires, obviously, leaving the comfort zone, especially for us introverts and highly sensitive people. Instead, we move back and forth in our ever-shrinking comfort zone like a tiger in a cage that has become too small. And perhaps this has already happened to you in some areas, so I want to give you 3 examples now. The first one is, imagine you feel uncomfortable among many people and completely avoid like crowds and city centers, right? Many of us introverts and highly sensitive people do this. As a result, when we do this, like always, even small groups of people become exhausting and your social skills begin to degenerate in the worst case. Then we have example number 2. Imagine you are very sensitive to noise and begin to sleep with earplugs in, blocking out all sounds and only sleeping well in absolute silence. And as a result, you suddenly wake up at the slightest noise and you can no longer stay overnight with other people or with friends. And if you forget your earplugs somewhere else, that's the worst case, and you even start to panic. We have example number 3. Let's say you regenerate very badly physically and have sensitive joints, sensitive tendons and ligaments, and that's why you don't go running or do any other sports, because you want to take care of your body. Sports is just not for me. As a result, your body is no longer used to any kind of stress. Even small efforts like walks and hikes become a torture for you. The more you narrow down your comfort zone, the more things you avoid, the harder it will be for you to do things that are slightly outside of your comfort zone. And this is also true for being overwhelmed. I like to talk about the avoidance trap here, because I also fall into this trap myself from time to time. And I have noticed that it is a subtle process, bit by bit. You start cutting out things or avoid things, and at some point you avoid nearly everything. So you can try it out for yourself with an example. If you're a sensitive or introvert person and it makes you uncomfortable to be around many people, then do the following. Let's assume that social encounters and strangers make you fundamentally uncomfortable. You have this feeling in your gut, right? Instead of avoiding city centers and crowds, let's say go to a crowded place for a while. This doesn't have to be the pedestrian zone or the shopping center, but could be a marketplace or a busy park on a sunny weekend day. So go there and then walk around the square or through the park and notice exactly how you feel. Is there an uneasy feeling inside you, in the stomach area? Do you feel like 1,000 eyes are on you? This is the potential expectation of the other people. And this can be overwhelming, yes. So, observe your inner process here. Now, if you did that, the next step is go to a less crowded place. For example, a less frequented promenade or a suburban district. Although there will still be people there, notice how easy it is to be around people. You will see that the feeling inside changes. And if you were in a very busy place before, you have almost no problem with a less crowded place, because if you were to avoid places frequented by people, even the smallest encounters would be very difficult for you. To summarize again, the avoidance trap always takes effect when you completely avoid actions that are difficult to you because of your personality traits or because of your life experience. Anyway, in a way, you reduce your comfort zone more and more. And this robs you quality of life and the possibility of further personal development. So I always do it like this. I take small steps, like what I explained before with the example, going to a really crowded place and going to a less crowded place afterwards. Maybe even talking to strangers, definitely in a less crowded place, to do small steps out of your comfort zone. So, have you ever dipped into the avoidance trap? I would be interested to know how you got out of it. If you dipped into it, definitely in that case, let me know in the comments if you watch this on YouTube. And if you don't want to miss any upcoming episodes like this one, definitely subscribe to the podcast here on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or your favorite podcast app. If you want to leave me a message, feel free to send me an email or text me via Instagram. All the links are in the description. And I see you or speak to you in the next episode.